Hey, Jordan. Thad Brown, WRC in Rochester, man. Thanks for some time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Thad, how are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good.
How much do you need that 100% go opportunity that you normally would get in a preseason game?
Yeah, I think it's important, guys are able to see the ball move at full speed and continue to see the ball move at full speed to work on our angles, to work on our, tackling, our physicality. I think, what Sean has done as far as practice program has gotten us ready and more prepared to play in September. As you see, we obviously have 18 days left to prepare. So continuing to, just grind each day out. Got to scrimmage tomorrow and take that scrimmage like it's a game day and come out and compete and make each other better.
Can you really, though, take that scrimmage like a game day when you're going against your teammates and there's certainly a desire to want to protect your teammates, while you're also trying to get ready for that 100% full go situation?
Yeah, I mean, you would say there's a fine line. Obviously, there's guys, that you don't want to see end up hurt. I mean, you don't want to see anybody hurt. But at the same time, you got to prepare yourself to, physically and mentally to be ready to play in September. And the only way doing that is, playing full speed football. And so, like I said, I think Sean has done a great job of organizing the way he structured training camp so far in order to get us, ready physically and mentally to play. So, we're just going to go out there and compete. Obviously, like I said, you don't want to see anybody hurt, but at the same time, you got to go out there and compete to be ready to play against the Jets.
Thanks, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan, John Scott. Good to see you.
Good to see you, John. How are you?
Good. Happy National Dog Day. Hope to see some content from the home.
I didn't know that, but I'll be sure to send some content out.
Do you see the boys acting crazy like usual?
Yeah,
I'd like
for
to
sure.
That.
For sure.
Wanted I kind of get a progress report of where you think the team is at this point in training camp as opposed to normal years when you've had the traditional off season and schedule around training camp?
Yeah, I think every season is different. I think every season, especially this season, you can't really look at, kind of the past of where you've been at because, everybody, all 32 teams started behind the 8 ball as far as, the amount of reps that we're able to get prior to, our opening game. And so I think for us, mostly, I think as defensively wise, just a lot, like I said, a lot of guys have been in the system a couple of years now and just continue to build on our communication and on our, just the way we attack our meetings, the way we attack practice and, just that constant wanting to get better each and every day. So, I think this team, the guys have that mindset, just continue to get better each and every single day in the meeting rooms and on the practice field. So it's hard to really scale, where you're at, right now compared to other teams before, are we satisfied where we're at right now? Obviously, not because we want to continue to get better each day, but where we are right now, though, I think just the mindset-wise of the team is in the right place.
From our perspective, which is obviously nowhere near yours, but we see Stephon Diggs and Josh seemingly developing chemistry at a pretty good rate here. From your perspective on the field, bullets flying, how are you seeing those two and their connection developing?
Yeah, man. It's cool to see, man. It's cool to watch. It's cool to play against. It's cool to they're getting us better each and every day defensively. But to have a weapon like Diggs that Josh is able to find the ball. Diggs can run every single route in the route tree. So it's like I said, it's fun to watch. It's a lot sometimes frustrating on defense. When we're in the middle of practice and we had one yesterday. It was 3rd and 12. Diggs ran a route, got to the sticks, and caught a big play. So, those are the type of plays that, when we're on the same team, obviously on Sundays, you're cheering for. But, it could be frustrating. It's going to be frustrating for defenses to try to figure out who you're going to stop.
Thanks a lot, man.
Hey, Jordan. It's Jay Skursky with the Buffalo News. Thanks for doing this. Wanted to ask you about Taron Johnson. He maybe gets overlooked a little bit in your secondary, given yourself and Micah, what you guys have been able to do, and then Trey as well. But what does Taron bring to you guys as a secondary?
Taron, first and foremost, he's a dog, player. He just has that dog mentality, and he plays one of the hardest positions on the football field, playing nickel. You basically, you have to know a lot details playing that position, and you got to play it in a physical manner, and he does, because he covers man to man and he fits in the A gap. So just his growth and his development, seeing him coming into his third year and kind of taking the role over at the nickel position, it's really cool to see. And he's going to continue to make plays for our defense and continue to help our defense, help our team win football games.
He's talked about, and Sean has talked about, maybe the one thing that's held him back a little bit is availability. He's missed some time and not being the biggest guy at that position. How do you, and I don't know if maybe you've been able to give him any advice on that. How do you work through that? Because it's a balancing act. You have to play physical to be successful, but he's not the biggest. So how do you find that balance?
Yeah, I mean, I think his mindset takes over for him. I guess, like you said, not being the biggest guy out there, but in his mind, he is the biggest guy out there. I feel like that's how I play too. I'm not the biggest safety out there, the biggest guy on the football field, but my mindset, on Sundays is that I have to be in order to help our team win. So, injuries is a part of the game of football. Unfortunately for him, he's had a couple, but like I said, he's been able to bounce back, and he came into training camp really strong. And like I said, he's going to help us win some football games.
Appreciate it, Jordan.
Yes, good morning, Jordan. George Redney, Challenger Community News and 105.5 The Beat, our radio station. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, George. How are you?
Pretty good. And what is it about the defense? Is the defense more predicated on you and Micah Hyde disguising the defensive scheme that you're in, the defensive coverage in the secondary, and then that kind of confuses the quarterback and allows for the defensive line then to attack the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I think our philosophy as a defense, it all comes down to our base philosophies as a defense. Not giving up big plays, taking the ball away, affecting the quarterback, not having penalties. And so, when you say Mike and I are disguising it, it's not just him and I. It's right. All 11 pieces got to work together in order for the defense to be successful. And so there may be times between Mike and I, him and I, within the defense decide, hey, we're gonna show this or show that. But our linebackers are Matt and Maine have been doing a lot better job, from year one to now in year 3 and 4, into helping us show our disguises better as far as just where they're bossing and blowing. And so it all ties in with the corners, the defensive ends too. And so you got a group like that who all understands the system and all understands, the weaknesses and the strengths of defense, and understanding, not putting yourself out of position in your disguise to be able to get to do your work. And so, like I said, we've been in this system. This is our, some guys' 3rd, 4th year in the system. So we're just continuing to try to find ways to affect the quarterback and maybe have him hold the ball a split second longer so our D-line can eat.
Yeah, because that's the difference of sometimes in winning and losing with that split second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and my second question is: it seems to be a lot of soft tissue injuries, a lot of hamstrings, throughout the league. How are you guys working on keeping your bodies, especially your legs, healthy, especially with now that you're getting into actual contact?
Yeah, I think coming into the season, you kind of understood that there was going to be some of that, just based off of the time off that we had in the off season. It's an unfortunate part of the game. It happens whether we have a good off season or off season like we had this last off season. But at the same time, just continue to find ways, new ways. I found numerous new ways to try to help take care of my body going into year 8 now. And so everybody's different in the ways that they do things on and off the field as far as taking care of their bodies. But I think I feel pretty good about my routine and what I do in order to be able to be available on Sundays.
Great. Thank you very much, and good luck this upcoming season.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Jordan, Dan Fates here up in Rochester. Yesterday, Micah Hyde, or 2 days ago, Micah Hyde said this was the most competitive Bills training camp he's ever been to, and credited that a lot to the offense and their improvements. Not that this is a knock, but we always think about this offense gets better practicing against a top defense every single day. no knock at previous offenses, but is this an offense now that is making you guys better because of Diggs and challenging you guys like you haven't seen since you've been in Buffalo?
Of course, and that's the competitive part about it, and that's what makes our team, who we are. We go out there each day. We can be, we're cool in the locker room, whatever, but when it's time we line up out there, we're out there competing against each other, trying to make each other better. And like I said, the offense is won some days, the defense is won some days, but that's, that ultimately that's what's going to make us better. And so, it's like I said, it's cool to see the offense grow throughout the years and see where they're at right now. And I know it's been an exciting time. Us defensively, our job is to try to get the ball back in Josh's hands so that, him and the offense are able to shine.
Thanks.
Hey, Jordan, good to see you again. Thanks. What's up, man? Feeding off of Dan's question, it's kind of perfect that he asked it right before I did, but I was going to also bring up that comment from Micah and just how competitive things are. One, I guess, do you agree with that? And two, are there any examples of that you could give or ways that you could explain it to us? Because I guess from the outside looking in, it's tough to know like what would make something so much more competitive and how there's a tangible difference between now and, the last couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, I think, as far as an example, Diggs brings a huge competitive aspect to practice. Just him, one, wanting the ball, and two, when he catches it, he's not just gonna go back to the huddle. He's gonna let you know. He's gonna let you know it's good. And so, I mean, that fire alone right there, it's like when you make a play on defense, you're gonna let it be known. And so, we're getting after it. It's been a couple scuffles, but it's all it's all part of the game. It's all part of the competitive atmosphere. We're just continuing out there trying to make each other better. And so, we've had a lot more live periods. We've had a lot of tackling drills. And it's obviously a hot time of summer, so guys are trying to compete, and guys are trying to get better, and guys understand the expectations that we have that people have on the Buffalo Bills. And so there's not, there's really no wasted days. We got to go out there each day and try to get better.
Thanks, Jordan.
Okay, Jordan, thank you for doing this. Mark Gaughan from the Buffalo News. We've written a lot about the depth on the defensive line. I just wonder what your view is so far in training camp about the pass rush talent that's in front of you. And then the second question, and this might be obvious, but I mean, for your team or any team, when you're in zone, if there's no pass rush, good quarterbacks are going to find holes, right? I mean, That's kind of a key thing. So those two questions.
Yeah, I think with the additions that we've brought in, Mario and Penza, and then guys that obviously that we've had here, and Ed, Trent, and Jerry, it's fun to watch those guys work, because they work extremely hard, and it's fun to see that their work put into practice and see them rush the quarterback in practice. And obviously we can't get close to our quarterback in practice, but understanding that, they're getting to the quarterback at such a pace that it's going to force quarterbacks to make bad decisions. And then it's going to be our job to capitalize on those bad decisions. So it's fun to see our defensive line working as hard as they are, getting to the quarterback. And our job on the back end is to, like I said, let the quarterback hold the ball split second longer. Hopefully get our D-line there, or hopefully force them into a bad decision, and then that's when we capitalize. But like I said, it's cool to see our group coming together, from the bottom to the top to the bottom.
Thank you.
All right, that's all we got, Jordan. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. See you guys.